Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Jennifer with CI Web Group, and you guys are attending the 12-Step Roadmap to Achieve Accelerated Results webinar series. I'm not sure what session we're in. I think we're somewhere in session 3, step 2. No, step 3, session 2, something like that. Anyway, you guys, we're going to go through very quickly WordPress as a core. As we've been walking through the web section, the graphic section, some of the marketing elements, I want to make sure everybody's got a clear understanding of the framework of WordPress and how to use it. So these are just going to be a basic orientation on how to use WordPress, and then we're also going to go over a couple bells and whistles as far as integrating other tools into your WordPress account as well. So first, let me start off by saying when you're looking at the screen, you guys should all start to see my screen pop up. And what you're going to notice is the front end of a website. So WordPress is similar to a dollhouse. You have the front end of the website, which is your presentation layer, and you have the back office of a website, which is going to be the administrative panel. So it's like turning a dollhouse around and being able to move things around. Once you're logged in, you're going to see a little bit different layout. I'm in an administrator mode, which means I have access to things that you actually could mess up your site. For the most part, you can't really mess your site up. But when you start getting into content editors and some of the more technical tools behind the scenes, you absolutely can. So we try and keep those protected. First things first, your navigation is on the left-hand side as well as the top. You'll notice if I hover over new, I have post, media, page, product, coupon, event, slide, testimonial, and content block and user. Each one of you, depending on what type of a WordPress platform and what type of functionality or specifications you had within your project, are going to have a different kind of dashboard. So you may have additional types of drop downs here as well. For example, if we were on our DNet site, DNet is based on a membership platform, so it's going to have members and so forth. If you're on one of our HVAC sites that has a mobile app, maybe it has some areas for a mobile app and so forth. So it just depends on what all the elements are of your site, but the basics that come within WordPress is post, media, and page, as well as users. So let's start with those. Pages and posts are going to be the two that I start with. I want to make sure everybody understands the difference between the two. Pages are a static function of your website. A page may be home, about us, our services, contact us. This is something that typically you're not going to continue to add content to. These will also primarily be your sales pages. So if I go look at pages, and you can just click on pages and it's going to show you this. We're looking at the jenniferbagley.com website. If you go look at pages, you're going to see a whole bunch of static pages. So this happens to also have a shopping cart on it, so we'll ignore these kind of pages. These are checkout pages and shopping cart pages and so forth. However, photos, consultations, mobile apps, quotes, and so forth, each one of these is a static page. When you hover over this page, you get some options. For this option, it's going to be edit, quick edit, trash, or view. So let's go ahead and first off look at view so we can look at what this page looks like. This particular page happens to have a gallery of quotes on it. So there's pages and pages of quotes that are inside this gallery, but that's what this static page is designed for. Every page is a little bit different. So if I go into home or about us, so I'll go click on about, and you're going to see it's going to move to another page. Also, I want you to notice in the top left corner, you're going to see the option to be able to edit the page that you're on. So if you're looking at the about page and you want to edit this page, one area you can edit your site, and you'll know if you're logged into your WordPress because at the very top, you're going to see this panel up here that has your name, your dashboard. It's going to have things that need to be updated or upgrades. It's also going to have edit page, new, and all of your SEO tools as well. And it will say howdy, and it will have your name. Okay, so now that we're on this page, two ways to edit this page. One is in the top section of your site. The second one is in the bottom section of your site. You'll see a little function here that says edit, depending on how old or new your website is. If you have an older site, you may not have this, as this was kind of a newer function over the last year, 2 years. All right, so let's say I want to edit this particular page. just something as far as framework. I know we talked about this in step number 3, session 1. We talked about the framework of a website. You have navigation, header. Sometimes you may have a sidebar. For this particular page, there is no sidebar, and you have footer. The items that are typically static on a site are going to be header, navigation, sidebar, and footer. Sidebar is interchangeable. It can be left sidebar, right sidebar, but this area right here is called the body. All right, so if I was going to go in and edit the body of this particular page, you just simply click on edit, and we're going to display WordPress's standing editing tool. Now, as soon as I pulled this up, you'll know the majority of the work that we do is going to be leveraging your code screens. You have 2 ways to view the text. So right now I can tell, because this doesn't look like a normal Word editor, and let me increase this for you guys so you can really see it. I know this is going to be better. Okay, because this doesn't look like a normal Word editor, I can tell that I'm looking at this in the text version. And the text version is someone who knows a little bit of HTML, and they're going to be adding some code or some scripts such as these. If you want to look at this in a visual mode for someone that's just learning WordPress, you can look at it just as you would an email or a Word document. Bold, italicized, strike through, bullet points, drop downs, quotes, left align, right align, center, attach, unattach, insert a more tag. You can add images and so forth. Now this has, like I said, shopping carts and galleries and so forth inside of it. Now, something important, when you are copying, pasting content from any other website, even if it's a Google document, you always want to make sure that you copy and paste into the text editor, which is here. And what that's going to do is strip out the HTML and remove the formatting. If you could imagine, all of these different applications have their own formatting languages. They have little things that they use to be able to format their content. Short codes, different kind of HTML scripts, and so forth. So what we want to do is we want to strip that down. So a couple ways to do that. One, you can write in a text editor. If you're on a PC, it's just your text file tool. 2, you can write it in a Google document, and then you can move it over to your site in your text editor here. So just paste, and it's going to strip out that text. I'm going to go ahead and open up a couple new pages so that I can show you. And the best way you can ever add content to a web page is live on the site and not start from any other document. Reason being, it gives you the opportunity to start with a blank slate. You can start in visual mode, so you have standard HTML editing functions. Let me move this up. You can drag your text area up or down. I typically like to shrink this down when I first start because the goal is you want to start off with a focus. Everything in the web environment or your marketing environment really has to do with you having complete focus on what you want to do. Every page, every position, every element of a website has a meaning, and it's a piece of real estate that's either going to work for you, work against you, or be neutral. And so the goal of this show is always accelerated results, and so we want to make sure we're always doing things that are going to accelerate our results and progress us forward. And worst case scenario, we have something that's neutral. All right, so first things first, on a page, some just basic elements, and then we'll talk a little bit about SEO here shortly because you know I get excited about that and I won't stop. But how to simply create a page, you're going to add a title. So I'm going to flip back and forth how to use this, but also SEO. So instead of making a page called services and putting a bullet point list of services, I would want to make a page that says DUI attorney. I said that because I see Miss Lisa. Let's see here. I've got a couple people on here. I have a couple attorneys, so we're going to go with attorneys today. Our HVAC guys are not going to get as much attention today. All right, DUI attorney, OR. Okay, and I think in Texas it's WI. All right, so let's copy this. And the very first thing I'm going to do, notice as soon as I paused just long enough, it started to create what's called a permalink. What I do not want to see in this permalink, I do not want to see, let's see here. It's hard for me to even think. My brain doesn't work like this. So, oh, here's a good one. No. Gee, okay, here's a bad one. Here's a bad page. If you think about this page title right here that you're putting in here is actually your H1 tag, and Google's going to calculate this as the primary footing for where it's going to place your website inside Google's directory. So if I save draft on this page, this is a new page I just created with the category called FAQ. And I promise you, Google doesn't know what a FAQ is, and no one looks for a FAQ either. You can take that how you want. Okay, so this is a bad page. This is a great page. Now, even better, let's modify it again. Dallas DWI attorney. I want you to think about what's more difficult to get found for. If I go here and I go DWI attorney, there is 8.6 million pages inside that drawer. Let's go ahead and add Dallas. There's 481,000. So as you're building your website, I want you to think about every page and go do what I just did. I want you to go look at, if I name a page something, whatever that is, air conditioning, or if I name the page something different like Dallas air conditioning service, what is your competition? And your competition can be found just by going to Google, typing in that search, and looking for the number of pages inside this drawer, and who do you want to compete with. Okay, it would be much better for you to be on page 1 or 2 of Google, page 1 of Google, for a search results of 35,000 results than it would be for you to be on page 2 of Google for 1 million. So just think about that as you guys are adding content. All right, so all right, now we have a new permalink. So I actually changed the title and I changed the permalink. We'll hit OK, and this is going to change this. Now I'm going to move into focus keyword. This is always the first place you want to start. Now I love the way that this works. This is actually going to give you recommendations. So once you put your key phrase in here that you're going to focus on for this particular phrase, you're going to get some recommendations. Dallas DWI attorney, Dallas DWI attorney reviews, Dallas DWI attorney fees, best Dallas DWI attorney, Dallas criminal attorney, Dallas DUI attorney. So my friends, I promise you, once you start this page, you are going to want to watch exactly what people are putting into this search, and you're going to want to have 1 page per search. 1 page per search. So this is your goal. Okay, if you're in development, let me just bring this to light. The goal is not to have 100% of your content up before the website launches. When your website launches, we need Google to start crawling your site. Well, as soon as your site comes online, Google's going to send the robots out there, and it's going to crawl the site because we're going to request it to. However, if Google comes back to your site a week later, crawls the site, and there's no additional or new content, then we are going to be put on a slower schedule, a slower crawl schedule. What we want to have happen is you want to launch your website with a handful of strong pages, and then you want to add content over time. And what this will do is it will show Google that you are current and you are relevant, and it will crawl your site more frequently. The more frequently it crawls your site, the better it helps with all our other efforts as far as building trust through social media, or building trust through off-page search engine optimization, or the remodeling of the interior of your site through on-page search engine optimization. So all of these things elements are connected. Okay, once I'm in here, you have the ability to simply start adding content. So most of you, I'll give you some examples. If you are, actually, let me see, Sophia's got a question. Hang on a second. Well, good morning to you, Miss Sophia. Okay, so you guys, if there's a couple different ways to design web pages. So one is just basic addition of content. So let me give you an example real quick. Let's go Flanders. Okay, So you have some projects that are simply doing traditional interior pages, which you're going to go to this page, you're going to add an image. So let's go pick on media. We're going to go pick, how about, we'll go pick this one. Okay, we're going to add this image and then a heading and some content. I'm just going to grab here. Okay, I'm going to grab just a piece of content here. And go back to this page. I'm going to drop this in here. Now again, if I was pasting from any other site, you always want to make sure that you're going to paste in the text area, which it's going to show you right here. So right here it's showing you, this is the image that I initially inserted, and here's the heading for that particular page. So I'm going to save draft. I'm going to go back to visual. Now, if I want to be able to wrap this picture or this image, I'm simply going to click on this image, click this little button, and I'm going to hit left. You can also increase the size. You can edit it, the image through advanced settings. You can give it a title, some alternative text. When we get into the SEO trainings, that's going to become very important. But just think about this the same way you do your pages. Label everything properly. Latest video number 2 has absolutely no value. All right, so now I'm going to update this, and you'll notice it just wrapped the content directly around that picture. Okay, Sophia has a really good question. Does page name have to match the tab? The answer is no. So when you're creating the page title, you're creating the page title specifically for Google and for your consumers. However, for your navigation, I'm going to go under Appearance, and I'm going to go to Menus. As soon as I'm on menus, you're going to notice I have all my menus here. So I have the ability to have a page that's titled / international keynote speaker, but have the title or the label of that menu item just say topics or about. So you can change the navigation labels. Your navigation labels mean nothing to Google. What matters is actually what the page title is and what the permalink is. And as long as you're not using images for your navigation, which is that means you need a new website. That's a whole other conversation. But your page titles do not need to match your menu navigation by any means. So you always want to think here, this is the most important element to your title. So if I said, if this was a title I want to get found for, we might as well go to something real. Copy, and I paste this here, say okay. I'm going to save draft again. I'm going to take this text again, and I'm refreshing too much. Okay. I'm going to copy this text. I'm going to move down to my SEO area. So notice it says no. I'm going to drop this in here. It's going to reformat everything. I'm going to hit Save Draft. Now, as soon as this saves draft, what you'll notice is for this topic, for example, I'm going to do this right. So, international social media speaker, my permalink is jenniferbagley.com / international media speaker. Well, it says social as well. All right, now I'm going to move in here. So you'll notice I'm using international social media speaker in the heading, in the permalink, and Google is showing you exactly what it sees. Now what I'm not doing is I'm not using it in the description, and I'm not using it in the body. So here's the description down here. International social media speaker Jennifer Bagley. So think about this like So for example, I'm over by 7 characters, so I would have to redo some of this. I'm going to get rid of this and. Now I'm over by 5. So here's a better idea, because the amount of contact or text that was available. So now, if you look at, this is exactly what Google sees. It sees the words international used 1, 2, 3 times. It sees the word social media speaker used 1, 2 times. It sees the word social media used 1, 2, 3 times. And if they pull it up from their mobile device or their tablet, they can click this call button and instantly be in touch with a booking agent. Now, the only place the content is not being used is up in the text. So let's go drop this in here. I'm telling you, this is the easiest way. Okay, let's go again. This sounds silly, but you got to do it. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to save draft, and I want you to watch the SEO check. Notice my SEO check on this side just turned green. The reason is I now have my primary phrase in my header, my title, my permalink, my URL, my content, and my description. So if you're interested in being found on Google and you are serious about this, then every page you put on this website, you're going to have the same kind of methodology and your thought process behind. Now I can actually use this page. But you're going to have the same methodology and the reason why you create the page. So remember, pages are your landing area. This is a static place for people to come and hopefully choose to do business with you. So I'm going to turn this into a heading first of all. I'm going to pull this image. I want to pull this image down here. And I would not use that image, but I'm going to for this particular thing. Okay, and I want to make sure that I have a call to action on this page. So I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Now, a couple things. If you're posting this page out to Facebook, this is the content that's going to pull for Facebook. You also might want to have a featured image show up if you're posting on Facebook. So if I want this to be my featured image, photo of Jennifer Bagley. Now, check this out. I just added my primary key phrase into the image. Okay, now I have an image. So if somebody is sharing this page out to their particular group, let me go ahead and I'm just going to change this to, while we're at it, might as well do it right. So lazy. Okay, so let's go through. I'm going to grab, actually we'll do this. Because I don't want 2 of the same things in there. Okay, now I just put it in there. Again, I'm going to grab this image. I want to wrap text, so I'm simply going to grab this. I'm going to check left. I'm going to click updated. Now I'm going to save draft. I've got a green check on my SEO. I now have all the key elements of a great page. Minus I don't have a call to action, so I'm going to talk about that in a second. But let's go through here. And we are going to preview this page. So I'm going to click on preview. I have like 6, look at this. I have like 6,000 tabs open. Totally multitasking. I need to stop doing that, but it's slowing everything down. Okay, so here is, so now the way my site is coded so the feature image shows up top. Because it actually pulls directly from the interior image. So I don't need a featured image in mine, but many of you do. And your featured image is also going to play a role in your blog post as well. So here's the primary content on the page. Image, I probably increase spacing a little bit, but all I need is a call to action, and we now have a very optimized page. Okay, so I'm going to go back to edit this page. And to be able to modify this, I'm going to say remove featured image. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I also want you to realize on the right-hand side, notice you have some options here. So first thing, you can see that this page is set to draft. So you can have pending review. Let me give you a use case scenario for that. If you have a writer that's producing content for you, and your writer, you want to be able to review their content, you're going to have your writer put all your content inside your site, they're going to keep everything in draft until they're ready for you to review. Once they're ready for you to review, they're going to put pending review, press OK. The status now becomes pending review. So when you log in and you go look at pages, you're going to say, I want to see everything under pending review. Those are the items you know you're doing a final preview and compliance audit on to make sure that they're properly done. Another way that we use pending review is our SEO team often has clients publishing articles on a regular basis, and they will use the pending review to be able to know that they need to go in and add additional SEO. All right, next is visibility. This says the visibility of this page is for public. We can edit this. Yvonne Damon, I saw she sent in a question earlier asking how to password protect a page. This is how simple this is. You simply go in here, put in a password. Now it becomes a password protected page. Just remember, anything you password protect or put behind the scenes has no value to Google. That's a no follow, no index page. We're going to take this back to public. You can make it private, you can make it public, or you can password protect it. Revisions. You guys, great part is, as you modify this, if you mess up or you want to go back, you can simply review your revisions. If there's multiple people working on the same WordPress, you're all going to want to have your own user accounts, and your user account is going to identify who made what revision. That's how we can tell who's messed up a website or made the last change or deleted a page or things like that when somebody asks. All your users are down here. You're going to want to make sure you have one user per editor on your site so that each person, you can be able to quickly be able to see which of the revisions. Next, you can publish it now or you can publish it in the future. So your publishing date system is on the right-hand side. You choose the date, you choose the time, when you want to send it out, hit OK, and this will now publish in the future. Let's go ahead and preview this page as is. And now we have a title here, International Social Media Speaker. We have a secondary title. Now I'll kind of play with some styling on that as well. So I'm going to click on Edit, go back in, and here what I want to do is I'm going to insert another line here. I want to insert a short code, and let me see here. Your short code area will allow you to be able to do things that normally only a coder would do. So if I want to insert a spacer in between that line and the other line, because I think there's not enough room there, then I'm going to say I want the height to be 30 pixels. That might be a little big. Let's go with 20, insert. Here's my spacer. Let me save draft, and then I'm going to preview this page again. As soon as the draft saves, preview the page, and I want to see if they're so perfect. I wanted a little bit of line, which is spacing in between this one and this one. Now don't worry about there being duplicate content. This right here is coded as an H1 tag, which is exactly what Google wants to see. This right here is coded as your H2, which is Google's secondary thing. So if you pick those properly from the drop down, then you're fine. And then this is the body text. All right, now let's talk, let me go back to edit page. So we've got a really nice, I'm actually going to go ahead and publish this. It's not in the navigation because I haven't added it to the navigation yet. I'm going to go back over to menus. I'm going to go ahead and refresh menus, and what you're going to see is most recent is going to pop up with the new page that we just finished right here, International Social Media Speaker. This page, I just created something, so if somebody's looking for an international social media speaker, my guess, if I give this as a priority to my SEO guys, a couple exterior posts and a handful of blog posts, and we'll be in the first set of opportunities for international or searches for international speaker. All right, let's see here. Pages. So do a blog accept. Okay. All right, so let's go through and let's look at the other missing element on a page. Remember, pages are sales pages. So these are where conversions take place. So on here, I may want to say, Okay, so if you're interested in booking Jennifer, please complete the form below. I'm going to go back in. I'm going to make this a secondary heading. I'm going to cheat. I liked this spacer up here, so I'm going to go ahead and grab this spacer. I'm going to paste the same spacer here, and I'm also going to paste the same spacer here. And you'll kind of get used to that as well. Now, I need a web form. So for me, there's a handful. There's 3 different platforms that we recommend that allow you to do web forms. Let me show you the cheap and kind of inexperienced version, but it's quick and easy to use, which is going to be CV. Not great for a mid-sized company or a large company. It's VCTA. But it's a great tool for an independent or someone just getting started in their business. So this is a great little tool. This is easy. It's not very expensive. You can sign up for a trial for free, but this gives the ability to implement web forms right into your site. You can also do online scheduling, client management, invoicing and billing, all directly from your website. So for my HVAC clients, this is a great tool if you don't want to work with an entirely integrated CRM system. So most of our HVAC clients are doing $1 million in sales per year and up, and are going to be operating in some type of more powerful or robust or traditional CRM system. Some of you are in an ERP solution. But if you do need to have, what I notice in the HVAC world is you guys don't have a CRM that easily integrates with your website. I have not seen one yet. Most of them are pretty poor when it comes to managing marketing conversions. So you've got to have a solution in place. So here's one option. This also gives you a little, some little tools as far as, like I said, online scheduling, invoicing, and billing, and this may help you out as well. So there's one option. The other option is Mothernote. You guys have heard me talk about Mothernote. This is definitely for a larger company, 5 users minimum. This originally was an ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System. It connects to operations, logistics, accounts receivable, accounts payable. It also has fully, in the CRM solutions, which are breakaway solutions, fully integrated marketing solutions. So you can see under the Sales and Marketing Edition, this one's a little bit more expensive at $60 per user or $70 per user, depending on what you need, but it does have the ability to create lead forms, manage leads and opportunities, sales, populate proposals, quotes, and so forth. So this is a pretty robust system. Again, if you have 5 salespeople or more who are going to be moving in and out of a CRM solution, this is a good plan for that if you're not very technical as well. And I will go to our next solution, which is my favorite, but Podio is an open source application, and I'm logged in, so it's going to show you I'm logged in. So this allows you to create unlimited workspaces, and it's a completely configurable system based on the development of apps. So, for example, if I want to create a lead form, I would create a workplace, and this workspace, I'm going to call it test for training. However, we'll go ahead and create this workplace. You can have internal and external people. You can have up to 5 internal people for free, you guys. 5 internal people for free. So again, for a solution for a small business that doesn't mind doing a little bit of configuration and learning a new piece of technology that's not as simple and basic as a VCTA, Podio is going to be a much more robust application. Again, 5 users for free. So if I want to share this workspace, we'll say with Kathy, we're going to go in here. I'm going to add, this is my test app. Now I have the ability to add an app. So apps is how the entire system works. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go under sales and CRM. All of these apps have been pre-configured for you, so it's very easy. So I'm going to go lead management and sales management. Let's go ahead and get lead management. It has more little apps. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 apps that are inside this one pack. I'm going to insert this. And I'm going pretty quick because we've got an entire section on CRM, but you've got to be able to do this. Now, leads. You need to be able to get leads from your site. Watch how simple this is. So I'm going to click on add a lead because I want to see the data that's in here. You guys may have different data. Totally cool. You can change this all you want. So here we have organization, contact, lead owner, expected value, probability, status, follow-up, street, address, and so forth. So let me get out of here. If I wanted to change this template and I want to change the values, I can simply click on modify value. I can move things around. So if I want to make the company name first, the company owner second, and I want to add in what their budget is, I can say, instead of saying money, I can say budget, for example. But you can literally form, if I want to say what your website address is, you can reformat and create any fields you want. Now let's say that this is done, and I want to take this app and I want to turn it into a web form because we just started making a sales page. I can go in here, very quickly click on web form, and boom, I'm inside my web form. All of the items that are inside that app, so some of them you may have for internal use, some of them you may want in a web form. So say I want to add URL to this web form. Done. I now have URL up here. If I want to add what city and state they're in, because I need that information, you can do that as well. Or you can pull this out. If I want to add a Skype, their organization, and so forth. If I want their budget. And so you'll notice I have USD, and I can put in a dollar amount in there. Okay, so this is the basic information. If I want them to be able to attach files, I love this, you guys. They can attach unlimited files, and they can upload it directly into your system, depending on what kind of business you're in. If you're an HR company and you guys are taking resumes or applications, you can use this for resumes and applications. If you're using, if you're in an HVAC environment and you need to get bids and quotes and estimates back and forth from clients, you can use this for that. If you just need to capture leads, you can use this for that. If you're an attorney, if you're in the entertainment industry, and so forth. Scott, I see you on here. This is a great alternative. If you're not using all the functions and you're paying for a CRM system, this is really cool and totally free. So boom, I have a web form. Now, first thing I do is I say what websites I want this web form to work on. We're building one on jenniferbagley.com. Oops. And you guys, if you're watching this for the first time and you're not aware of our background and experience, we do complete CRM integrations, CRM evaluations, configurations, and so forth for many of our clients. So, you know, things are constantly changing. The great thing is as long as you've got a coach and consultant in your back pocket, it's easy to be able to come up with ideas or needs and be able to present, this is what my need is, what are some alternatives, and so we can always help you with that. All right, so I have two things. One, I have a shareable link. I'm going to go ahead and open up that shareable link so you can see what this gorgeous lead form looks like. Now let's say I want to modify it a little bit. You can go down here. You can change the title of the lead form to free consultation. You can change the theme. I want it to have rounded corners and look a little bit more glossy. I want to enable a CAPTCHA so I don't have garbage. I want to change this to request instead of submit, and I want a success message to happen as soon as upon success. I'm going to go ahead and grab this embed code right here. This is for my website. I'm going to save this, and in a matter of moments, let me just grab this again. Done. You literally just signed up for Podio, created a new workspace, created a new app, created a web form, grab the web form, embed code, and boom, we're going to go over here. We're going to go to our page. We are going to click on text. Anytime you're going to add embed form or code, so if you're adding a video or you're adding embed form like we are right now, you're always going to do that in code, which is the text function. Let's go ahead and say save as pending. Stay on this page. Let me see if it, hang on a second. Paste. Let me update this page. Thinking. Preview changes. And we have a new page, international social media speaker, blah, blah, blah. If you're interested in booking Jennifer, please complete the form below, free consultation, and you have all of your contact information that you have in here. Now this is a very different form than I would have on mine. But if you go throughout any of our web pages, you'll notice we have lead forms spread throughout all of our web pages, all of our blog posts, videos, social media sites, and so forth. Why? Because we want to capture new leads and opportunities with every action. All right. That being said, It's time for an intermission. If you're on this call and you're interested in a free consultation, you can go to jenniferbagley.com, click on free consultation, and you can go through the process I just showed you. So I'm just saying, I had to do the plug. All right. Okay, so here's a free consultation form. You can see this is exactly the same application we're using. It's a web form by Podio. And with a little bit of help, you guys can be up and running and on your way with web forms absolutely free for up to 5 users. After 5 users, it's $9 per month per user. So, and you guys will freak out when you see all of the capabilities that are inside the system. Again, completely open source, object-oriented, drag and drop features, the ability to build any app customized the way you want it all day, every day. So you notice we keep track of administrative things, contracts, sales, design, development, video production, mobile apps, search engine optimization, social media marketing, client projects, blah, blah, blah. So literally you can see all of our different projects as well. Also, our entire team communicates in here as well. Okay, back to, here is, I'm probably editing in 3 or 4 pages, which you do not want to do what I do. I have 5,000 pages open at any given time and will edit everything at the same time. Okay, let's say I love this page and I want to add it to the menu. I'm going to go to menu, I'm going to click add to menu, scroll out all the way down to the bottom, and you're going to see international social media speaker. Great. I probably should have made this a blog post and not a page because I have plenty of woe is me pages already on the site. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to change the label to just say social media. And I think, oh, where do I want this? Let's go under, let me think of where I want it. Okay, I'm going to put it as a sub under topics. So we already have topics. I might as well just put that in here. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom. I'm going to save this menu. I'm going to go back to the home page. I'm going to go to home, refresh. And let me just increase the width of this. I'm going to go under about and I don't know if it's saved yet. Refresh. All right. So this kind of gives you an idea. Again, you don't have to have the same name. You're looking for SEO as well as for people. Okay? Next. Let me move this over here. Back. I want to make sure you guys can see the page real quick. About. So you guys, for your sales pages, so here's the new page that we made, and that's how quick and easy it is to get into the navigation. Again, if you guys are in the middle of development, don't get too caught up on menus and navigation and content and so forth. The goal is to get a beautifully designed website that's perfectly laid out, easy for you to add content, and then continue to add content once that baby's live. The cost of not launching your new website is way more than the cost of you launching it with a couple missing pages because you're going to add those after go live. The benefit to adding content after go live far outweighs the benefit to adding content and having 5,000 pages on the day you launch. It would be much smarter to have 5 pages very well written and then to continue to add pages over time, which I promise you what I practice is what I preach. I do the exact same thing with ours. Okay, let's talk blogs. Your sales pages you need to have is going to be home, about. You may have who we serve. So for my interior designers, instead of just serving housewives of executives, you probably also have entrepreneurs, celebrities, construction companies, new home builders. There's a ton of other areas that you serve. So you also want to always include who do you serve and also what do you do. So every product, every service, one page, one thought. If you're in an e-commerce environment, I've got a couple of you on here. I've got a couple medical supplies people that are on. If you're in a medical supplies environment, you have by product, which is manufacturer ID, something that a technical person is going to buy, maybe a procurement officer at a hospital, but you also have by brand. So instead of calling something a MAC bandage, ID number 14576, you might want to call it an ice pack. So for a general consumer. So you may have the same page on the website labeled 4 or 5 different ways so that when a user comes to the site, it's easy for them to find what they need. All right, so home, about us, our services, 1 page per service, and then contact us and your call to action pages. So very simply, those are most important to start. Next, once this baby is up and live, the next thing you want to do is you want to be blogging and adding content. So for every sales page you have, if you have a page that's about photo booth rentals, I see Miss Walworth on the call. So if you have a page about DJs or photo booth rentals, you're going to want to have 5 to 10 blog posts that are the supporting Q&As for that particular sales page. So adding a blog is simple. You're going to go to, let me just go back to the dashboard. There's only a couple other elements about blog posts that are more powerful than pages, and so I want to make sure that you're familiar with those. So a blog post is going to be under all posts. Before I get into all posts, let me just show you the media library because it's very, very simple. But if I click on library, these are all of the pictures and images that you're using for your site. So first thing you want to do when you get organized, as soon as your site launches, go to your computer, your hard drive, and every logo and image and document that you may use on your site over time, just go add new to the library. You can literally pick, so I can select files directly from my desktop. And you want to get organized very, very quickly. The goal of being able to work fast is going to be simply being able to quickly add content to a page. So let's say all of these things I want to use, I don't even know, we're just going to grab all of these. They're probably too big because some of these are big web files. But I'm going to grab each one of these files right from my desk drive, get organized, put everything into a file. Once everything's in that file, highlight all of the ones you want to add, and simply now you're going to see all these are web pages. Look, and it's you, Air Care. So Air Care Systems, Barbara Gilbert, and so forth. So your guys' designs, I'm uploading your designs to my webpage. I'll think of something to do with them to start blogging about y'all. But you'll notice every one of the images is going to start rolling through here. So you're talking about seconds to get organized with your site, but do it as soon as your site goes live. Upload everything all at once, put it in a nice little neat folder on your desktop, and then grab the whole folder and upload it to your site. That way, when you guys are adding pages and posts, you can easily add an image. You want 1 image per page to really make sure that the styling is well done on that page. All right, boom, boom, boom. Everything's in the system. One more. Get somebody. And these are huge, 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 huge files too. This is not smart. Okay. So you can edit photos by going here. If you want to click edit, once you're in your photo library, you can start adding descriptions and titles. So notice this. This is called Barbara V7. Now I know what that is. That's version number 7 of her homepage design for her website. But I also have the ability to use this. So let's say I wanted to link this particular file to a page or a word inside here. So let's say I click on text, and this is still saving. Let me get out of here. If I want to grab a piece of text and I want to insert a link with a link to that particular media file. So now, if I say open a new tab and I title this that's my alt text and title for this particular link. So if I save draft, this is going to link them. Now I'm going to go preview this page, which is not going to be pretty because this is my little FAQ page that we'll never actually use. You'll notice it has a link in here. If I click link, guess what I'm going to be on? The image that I just uploaded into the media library. Again, you don't want to do images that are this big. You see how big this is? Let me see if I can shrink this down just a little bit. Okay, so now I have Barbara's design as a link inside the text on that particular post. So make sure you upload your media library. Next, blog posts. All right, so we're going to go under posts here, and I'm going to say add new post. I'm going to close out of all of these things right now. All right, add new posts. So your posts are really the vitamins for your sales pages. So if you have a page, again, pick every service. So let me go through mine because I can do them very quickly. Web design, web development, search engine optimization, social media marketing, mobile app development, and so forth. Okay, video production, video marketing, video editing. These are our services. So what you want to think about is what are the top. Now, let me back up. It's very easy to jump into a blogging environment and want to get all creative and spill your guts, and I get that. But if you want to have a focused, concentrated effort on building your business, then you need to have a very focused and concentrated effort on the type of content. So, for example, our SEO director, Ben, every week to 2 weeks, he sends an email to our SEO clients and says, I need an article with these 5 phrases as your primary phrases. I need one for each. Give me 5. And he gives direction every week on exactly what needs to be written. It really does help keep you guys organized on developing the right kind of content that's going to actually progress your business. Now, remember this. If you write 30 articles on 30 different topics, you're going to dilute the effort on your post. If you write 30 articles that are supporting one particular phrase, you're now going to start owning much more real estate. So I want you to think about your website is more. I just looked at Blake Crenshaw because, we're doing a lot of stuff with him and I wanted to see what's happening for his brand name. If you look at Blake Crenshaw's brand name, because we're branding him and we're branding his company as well as products and services from an SEO standpoint, but it's important your SEO. The first thing you want to protect is your name, because for referrals, you want to make sure that if you're getting referrals, they're not confused. They're not Googling you or your company or your products and not able to find you. So I loved looking at Blake Crenshaw. I saw his LinkedIn account, his LinkedIn account, his LinkedIn account. Gotta love that. He's way better than I am. Boom, he's got the majority of the photos inside Google Images. Next, his Twitter account, we're killing it. His Facebook account, we're killing it. Now you move in, I'm posting this is for his new website. So his Google Plus account, we've got content posting too. We Scan Files, his new website just launched. And his author profile, posts by Blake Crenshaw, his author profile is what's showing up here. Very, very important. We'll come into that in future trainings. Next, you're going to see the videos that we developed for him, how they began, things you need to know, testimonials, and so forth. And then as you keep going through different pages, you'll notice his Spokio is YouTube, SoundCloud, his Google Plus account. He was interviewed on my radio show a week ago, a couple weeks ago. Actually, no, it was a week ago. JenniferBagley.com. We featured a testimonial. DNet TV, author. Again, author profiles. Blake Crenshaw. His author profile on the DNet website is on page 2 of Google for his name, so he's going to really start building this up. Blog Talk Radio, again, for our radio show, and so forth. So you want to think about this as more than just your site. You've got to really, really be thinking about how many pieces of content can I own. But you notice these titles. The reason I show you that is because whatever you put as these titles inside here. So if I go Google, I told my team I wanted to get found for achieve accelerated results. And then ultimately I want to get found if somebody types in how to achieve accelerated results. And this was a couple weeks ago. So this was my goal. So achieve accelerated results. Here's our radio show. Here's our radio show. Here's our Facebook. Here's our Facebook. Here's our website. So you're going to see the title. Here's one of our other websites. Here's another. This is our blog category. So I want you to look at this. This is important. This is the blog category titled Achieve Accelerated Results. 12-Step Roadmap to Achieve Accelerated Results. Boom. Look here. Well, that's interesting. So we just, business resource guy. We also had Richard Hassman recently on the radio show. So if you go through and you start looking, JenniferBagley.com, I feel sorry for this company. 30 days ago, I decided that we were going to brand and SEO this particular phrase, and this company is they're now on slot number 10. I want to say a week ago they were in slot number 6. they'll wind up on the 3rd or 4th page of Google and won't be able to make it back, simply because they did not properly optimize their brand name. So when you're looking for accelerated results, which this is a training and company or performance training and company, they're going to wind up being, like I said, on page 3 or 4 of Google. And then same thing as you start moving into other pages, you're going to see. So our goal is to own the first 20 pages of Google for the phrase achieve accelerated results, and then we're going to move to accelerated results, how to get accelerated results, and so forth. So it's a process. You just have to keep going through that. Now, when it comes to your title, so let me give you a list of the types of titles. How to, what to avoid, the best. Let me turn it to visual so you can actually see this. And I'm going to make these all big so you can really see them. Okay. Top 10. So I want you to think of, for whatever service it is, how to hire a DJ. Best DJs in Houston. Top 10 DJs in Houston. DJ pricing in Houston. So go down here to your SEO title and you're going to type in whatever that is. Okay, so if I want to say, Houston DJ wedding or Houston wedding DJ, you want to get an idea of exactly what that phrase is going to be. So I may say, top 10 Houston wedding DJs. Top 10s always work. Now I'm going to grab this content. I'm going to move it over here, change this number to top 10 wedding Houston DJs. I'm also going to go over to tags. Remember I showed you that tags showed up, and I also showed you that categories showed up. So I would add a category. Now I'm not going to put that in here because that does not fit my site at all, but categories and tags are huge. In a page, you don't have the ability to add tags and categories. In a post, you do. So remember, you can have one post in 4 different categories. So it gives you the ability to really, really be able to optimize. So I may have a category that's weddings, and I may have a category that's DJs, and I have the ability to create one post and drop it in both categories. Or I may have wedding videographers, wedding photographers. So what I will normally do is if I have 5 sales pages, so we're going to take Lisa's business, for example. She launches her site. She has photo booths, DJs, event planning. So what I would do is I would go through and I would say add new, add new, add new, add new. And I just hold the, depends on what kind of computer you're on. I just think it's like the control key or function key, and then just keep clicking add new, and it's going to open up all your tabs. If you have ADD like I do, then this is a really great way to work. I'm going to type in photo booth. And then the next one, I'm going to type in weddings, event planner. The next one, I'm going to type in corporate. Okay, so let's see here. For example, so I just actually, you already have sales pages for each one of these. Now the goal is you want to start taking these and you want to start modifying them based on what questions, or special events planner, hyphen what to know. Or maybe special event planners in Houston. Okay, so each one of these titles, and I promise you, you're going to want to keep, this is forever and ever and ever, you're going to want to keep adding content, drop in my focus key phrase. Boom, it starts telling me it's in the heading, it's not in the article. I'm going to drop it into the description. Now it's starting to show me what the description is. Save draft, it's now going to be in the title, the permalink. I'm going to put it on the page and make it a title. Save draft. I use the same phrase 5 or 6 times. Boom. All of them are green. Now I want to start writing my content. So your content, you may have 3 paragraphs. So this may say, what you should know when hiring a special events planner in Houston, top 10 questions to ask a special events planner in Houston, top 10 things to avoid when hiring a special events planner in Houston. So you may make one blog post that has those 3 categories on it, but you also can take those exact 3 categories and turn it into 3 more blog posts. So you guys, I hope this is helpful. I know this is a lot of information, again, on your blog posts. Everything you do is related to connect, engage, and convert. Connect, engage, and convert. So for this particular program, the takeaways from this are, if you have a website in development, you want to get through that process as quickly as possible, get that baby live, and then get in there and start using it. This is your sales person or people. If you are in a business and you say, I'm too busy to use my website, I'm going to tell you that's ridiculous, because you're too busy, because you're not leveraging the technology you have to work for you instead of you work for it. At some point, that has to change. At some point, you've got to get in a position where the website becomes your sales organization, your sales force. Every page has power. I just posted a quick article, and we'll wrap up here, on my Facebook page about a particular blog post, and I promise you this happens day in and day out. Here was the article. I said, the organic power of one blog post. Words are currency. Back in July, when we were pulling organic traffic reports for one of our full-service SEO clients, we noticed there was a huge upswing in search, social, and referral traffic. Their site had been seen with some good growth in the previous months, but not quite as drastic as this. From June to July, and this is last year, organic traffic increased by 122%. Social media traffic increased by 134%. Referral traffic increased by 114%. These are not just normal upticks. These are truly fantastic jumps. We were ecstatic to see such huge growth, but wanted to see exactly where this had came. Turns out our client's jump in traffic could be traced back to one solitary blog post that was properly optimized by our team, submitted as an educational article on multiple social media directory listings and sites, and reposted multiple times for the last year throughout their social media site. They wrote one powerful blog post. We took that blog post, and on there, once it was optimized and submitted to local directories, global directories, we also took that same blog post, we dropped it into a spin on their Facebook account where that article was posted every 25 to 35 days for the next year. Now, a year later, we're going back and analyzing a year's worth of results. One of the top lead generation pages on their entire website is one particular blog post that happens to have generated almost 60% of their total inbound leads off their website. I promise, if you spend time learning just the basics, everything you do every day, every word that comes out of your mouth, every sales presentation, every question you answer, if you are to take the time to digitize that content, properly put it into your website, and allow us to be able to do some marketing for you, push it out to your social media networks, and continue to optimize it off page, this is the growth of your company over time. It is a long-term investment. However, that investment literally will have you in a position where you never have to wonder where your business is coming from in the future again. With that, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation and can take back some of the things that you learned today and either get your website live if you're in production, or start pushing out content on a regular basis and really start publishing that content and start taking more ownership for how your brand, your name, your products, and your services are positioned in the marketplace, which ultimately is going to provide you with a phenomenal life and the ability to be able to attain the goals that you originally set out for when you started your company yourself. Thanks again, you guys. I appreciate it. Please leave feedback, comments, drop me a line on Facebook publicly, and let me know what you think. And we're always here to help. Next week, we'll be jumping into some more great marketing ideas, and I hope to see you. And please invite a guest.